to the Breathwork class, my stalwarts. The three of you are always here, which is wonderful. And then it's always lovely to have Shanila. And I thought today we would just briefly, we're doing a global Ayurvedic reset starting next Monday. And what it is the class that I studied with, we've kept in touch over time. And Leanne is an incredible Ayurvedic practitioner, and she is leading this global Ayurvedic reset for a week. It's all going to be on Zoom, and it's recorded. And along with it comes the most amazing document, because everybody from the class has put a day together. So it's like having a home day reset if you want to. Probably each recording is only going to be about an hour and a half long, and it'll all be up on YouTube. But the valuable part will be the document that comes with it. And in that document, it explains quite a lot about Ayurveda. It also goes through each day, and it explains the element of that day. I'm just trying to see how I mute everybody. Sorry. Mute. Maybe just mute you all. Okay. So it explains the element of the day, and then it gives you different and it gives you different breath work, different food. So it's very valuable. And in that one, I'm doing the one on ether, which is not an easy element. So in yoga and in Ayurveda, we're all made up of different elements, all 5 elements, and we have them in varying proportions according to our makeup. And ether is one of the elements of the dosha vata. And ether is equated to space and not the air that we breathe in. It's very different to air. So I thought this morning I'd just address the concept of ether versus air. And I've been working on a little bit of breath work and a little bit of the yoga practice that we can help to balance our ether. So now the concept is to balance. So we can have too much ether. We could also have too little ether. And for our optimum, we need to be in balance for our particular body type. So ether is considered to be the space, everything over and beyond the air that is around us. It's considered to be the space into the galaxy. It's considered to be that vibrational, energetic, magnetic space around us, rather than the air, the oxygen, O2 that we're breathing in and out. That is air. The ether is the space. It's the gap. It's the pause, which we've been talking about quite often. And quite a lot of interesting questions were coming up last night. How do we feel in our own space? Are we in the correct space for ourselves? How do we move in our space? Are we feeling comfortable at the moment? What are we putting out into our space and into the vibrational greater whole? And is it what we're wanting to do? So I just wanted to bring those few concepts to the table this morning as we are practicing our breath. Maybe we can tune into something that is slightly greater. If we want to bring it into the body, inside the body, ether is represented in the blood vessels, the hollow of your blood vessels, the hollow of your bone, the capacity to hold bone marrow, the hollow of your lung, the capacity to hold the air rather than the amount of air that you are flowing in and out your body. So as we become older, it's important to nurture that capacity and to keep those spaces and those gaps optimal and alive and vibrant and healthy. So if that is the space in which we are breathing this morning, if we can maybe take our awareness. So if we're breathing down our esophagus, the awareness that our esophagus is wide and open so that it allows more space in. The use of our lungs from top to bottom so that we are starting to really utilize the full capacity of our lungs. I hope that makes sense to everybody. And as we become older, those kind of areas tend to constrict. So when we're breathing this morning, try and imagine that those areas are opening and that you have a full, healthy flow, and your walls and your linings of that gap are really nurtured and free flowing. All right. So sorry, Shanila, but we always do a little bit of orientation this morning, just so that we get into a focus. So the focus this morning being ether. All right, we're going to start by closing our eyes. You're in a seated position, whichever one suits you. And I'm going to start this morning with the Nadi Shodhanai breathing. We're just going to settle down gently, and then we're going to go into our Nadi Shodhanai breathing. And then I'd like to just briefly lead you in something called the gap. It's a very short visualization technique that gets us into a space that's not completely within our body. Bear with me, it's very safe. It's like going into sort of soaring through some stars in outer space for a little while. And I find it fun. I find it wonderful when you're needing to balance. And when you're needing to calm, and you can even do it in a queue in a shopping center. Literally, you can just close your eyes and say, okay, I can do this for 1 second. And it becomes quite a wonderful technique where you can just give yourself that moment. So if we can close our eyes and just start to notice our breath, lengthening your back. And start being aware of the air that you're breathing in. Start noticing the length of your own breath. Don't lengthen it yet. Just keep it into your normal, your own rhythm. And slowly bring your awareness to your lungs. Try and visualize the size of your lungs as you're breathing in. Try and see them as a balloon, a funny shaped balloon. And as you breathe in, what happens to that balloon? Which part of it is expanding? Which part of it is contracting? Is the left working equally to the right? Can one practice breathing into the left and out of the right? All these visualizations as we breathe help us to focus our energies into an area that we want to nurture and heal. Start taking the breath a little lower. Expand that lung area in the narrower part towards the bottom. Imagine it starting to just loosen up and breathe out. Keeping nothing tall, draw your breath in from the top of your head, through your nose. And start allowing the belly, the lower belly, to expand as the lower lung pushes the belly out. And breathe out. All part of body awareness. We just take 3 more breaths like this. In your own time, just breathing deep down into the bottom of your lungs. Starting to draw more air in and push it out. And breathe in. Expanding sideways, breathe out. And the last breath of this kind, breathe in. Nice and deep and slow, slightly into the back, breathe out. And just come back to normal breathing. We're going to take a couple of rounds of Nadi Shodhanai just to balance off our left and our right so that we're in a lovely neutral state to start the practice. We take our right hand. This is my right, so it's the opposite for you. And you put your 2 fingers on your central forehead. And your thumb closes your right nostril, and your ring finger closes your left nostril. And we alternate the breathing by alternating the fingers. So we're going to start by using our thumb to close our right nostril. And we breathe in for the count of 6. We're breathing in. 3 through the left nostril. 5 and 6. We close both nostrils and we open right. And we breathe out for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grow long. 7 and 8. Stay there and breathe in through right. Breathe in. 4, 5 and 6. Close both and open left. Breathe out for 8. 5, 6. Keep nice and tall. 8. Breathe in through left. Staying there. Breathe in. 5 and 6. Close both. Open right. Breathe out. 5, 6, 7 and 8. Breathe in through right. 5 and 6. Close both. Open left. Breathe out for 8. 1 more round. Breathe in through left. 5 and 6. Close both. Breathe out through right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in through right. 6. Close both. Breathe out through left. Stay there. Breathe in through left. Breathe in. 4, 5. We're going to close both and hold for 6. Both held. 4, 5, 6. Open right. Breathe out for 6. 5 and 6. Breathe in through right. 4, 5 and 6. Close both and hold. Kumbhaka. 3, 4, 5, 6. Open left. Breathe out. 4, 5, 6. 1 more round like this. Breathe in. Close your left nostril. Hold. Both nostrils closed. 3, 4, 5, 6. Open right. Breathe out for 6. Breathe in through the right. 5 and 6. Close both. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Open left and breathe out. And gently release your hands and place them back on your knees. And take some mindful breaths through both nostrils. See if you can widen the gap, the space, the place of ether through the nose as you're breathing in and out. So that is just to orientate us into the space, the holding capacity of our air. I'm going to move through back to the mat. What we have today is that we're going to do some moving space with our stretches. So we're going to start off with our legs open frontwards. Toes are pointing to the ceiling. Keep your hands on your thighs. Back is nice and straight. We're going to breathe in as we reach forward, straight back. And we're going to breathe out as we reach backwards. Just activating the core, keeping your hands on your shin. We're going to breathe in gently, it's slow. And breathe out. Trying to activate from the central abdominal. Breathe in. And breathe out. Try not to wobble your head too much. Breathe in. The activation is from the lower core. Breathe out. Breathe into the lungs, expand them. Sideways and into the back. Breathe out. Contract the rib cage slightly. Breathe in. Notice both nostrils. Breathe out. Staying nicely on the sit bones. Breathe in, open the chest. Breathe out. Keeping those feet nice and active on the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. It's more about the breath. Activating the upper body. Breathe out. It's like the breath is the fuel. Breathe in. Gently opening. Breathe out. Now you can start rounding your shoulders. Breathe in. Open the shoulders. Take your hands off your thighs. Open your shoulders. Breathe out. Move the hands forward. Breathe in. Open. Breathe out. Close. Breathe in. Open. Breathe out. Close. Really nice activation. Breathe in. Try and fill the lower lungs. Breathe out. Constrict the lower lungs. Push the air up. Breathe in. And last one. Breathe out. Come back to straight. Staying with your feet facing forward. We're going to pop our hands on our shoulders, elbows up, starting to open up the lymphatic system. And we're just going to activate our neck area very gently with the breath. So we're first going to start by breathing in. And on the out breath, turn your head to look to the right. Staying nice and tall, active. Toes facing the ceiling, thighs are active. Breathe in. Back to center. Breathe out. Chin to the left shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe into the back as well as the front. Back to center. Breathe out. Pull up those abdominals. Keep your back nice and straight. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, come back to center. And one more on either side. Breathe out. You may take your chin a little bit further in your mind. See if you can find that nice stretch. Breathe in. And breathe out. It takes strength to stay here. Well done. Pull up those abdominals. Sit nicely on the floor. Breathe in. And just release your hands to the floor and bring your legs into cobbler. Hands back on our shoulders. Pushing our feet nicely together, toes, heels, creating a little bit of a bind, starting to activate the inner thigh a little bit. Hands on our shoulders. Again, we're going to breathe by bringing our arms together. Breathe in. As we bring them up, it's still an in-breath, and as we take them backwards, it's an out-breath. Staying nice and tall. Breathe in, join the elbows together. Bring them up around to point them to the ceiling. Breathe out, open the chest, and constrict the bottom of the rib cage as you bring your arms down, but you're staying tall in your spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can use nice ujjayi warming breath here. Breathe in. Elbows to ceiling. Breathe out. Elbows to join each other. Join the scapula. Breathe in. Use the full capacity of your lungs. Breathe out. Feel the opening. Breathe in. And breathe out. Stay there. We're going to reverse. Before we reverse, this time I'd like you to focus on the space in the shoulder joint. Try and create space by pulling the shoulders, arms away from the shoulders, creating that lovely space, which is also part of ether, the space between our joints. So we're going to breathe in, take elbows back, open the chest, breathe into the top, breathe out now to join the elbows if you can, and pull them down. Breathe in. Create space in that shoulder joint to the top. Breathe out. Breathe in. Ether is an element of Vata, of the Vata dosha. And when Vata is out of balance, breathe out. Vata tends to get joint pain, joint dis-ease. Breathe in. And breathe out. And one of the mitigating factors we can help is creating the space in the joint, the healthy space. Breathe in. Join elbows together. Breathe out. And that space creates healing and the health of the joint and maintaining that flow, the capacity to flow through the joint. Breathe in one more time. And breathe out. Well done. Well, my shoulders were crunching in the beginning. They're not too bad yet. You can straighten your legs if you'd like to and just give them a little shake. Starting to wake up the back of the legs. Bounce them up and down. And come back into cross legs. You may be in half lotus or full lotus, depending on where you'd like to be. Everybody okay? Meet me on the mat. All right, we're going to come again into our Sufi's grind, which I find an incredible, useful way of feeling your body within the space that you're in. So just be aware of how easily you're moving through or how with difficulty you're moving through. And if it gets better as we move, I think all of us are strong enough to take our hands off our knees this morning. All right, so you can hold them into a fist, you can interlace your fingers, you can just hold them into prayer position. And it's as if you're stirring a very large pot of broth that we're going to maybe eat later. Find those sit bones, pull away the cheeks, breathe in. And breathe out. Nice center core, steady on the core. And the chin stays at the level. Breathe in as we go towards the right. Sweep forward, keep those sit bones on the ground and breathe out as we come back. Breathe in, stretching away on the left hand side. Breathe out, stretching away on the right hand side. So we're opening up. Breathe in. Use the breath down the sides of the body. Breathe out. Release the toxins on this side. Breathe in. Let the lung be at its fullest even when you're stretching forward. Breathe out. Contract the lower area of the lung. Push out the toxin. Breathe in. Breathe out. Try here to concentrate on keeping those two sit bones evenly on the floor. Stretch the upper body away from the hip joint. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. It's slow and it's more difficult when it's slow. Breathe in one more time. Stretch away. And breathe out. Come back to center. Take a moment. Take a lovely breath in. Fresh, nourishing. Breathe out. Start feeling the heart rate is increasing. This time we're going to start on the other side. Breathe in. Lovely sweep through the front. Breathe out. Bring it back to you, whatever you need. Gather what you're looking for. Breathe in. Breathe out. Whichever visualization works for you. You can close your eyes. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lovely lubrication in the hip joint. Try and keep that space by staying long on your hips. Breathe out. Breathing. Stretching your hip open to the right, to the left. Stretching your hip open to the right. Breathe out. Two more. Breathe in. And breathe out. And last one. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come back to tall. Really tall. Push your hands down into your hips tall. Try to push down so that you can lengthen the spine. Get that lovely long feeling of lengthening. Then stay there nice and tall and put your hands on your knees and breathe. Breathe into the side now. Breathe into underneath the lymphatic system here to try and get the flow going down through the body. Towards the kidneys, towards the liver. Breathe out. We're going to take our hands up to the sky. A lovely, lovely long breath in. And this time we're going to reach forward towards the floor. Take your hands all the way down to the floor, wherever your point may be. We're going to do a seated cat-cow in this position with your crossed legs. So we're going to breathe out as we round our back. We're going to round the back, drop the head. Breathe out. We're going to breathe in as we're going to bring our chest through. Our hands stay exactly where they were, but I'm trying to pull my chest and my thyroid, my throat area through. Open the shoulders. Breathe out. Curl the back, drop the head. Open up the shoulder blades, creating space underneath them. Breathe in. Open up the chest. Breathe out. Round the back, pull up the abdominals. Use the breath to help you. Breathe in. Drawing in that fresh air. And now we open up the scapula at the back so that we have the capacity for that air to move around our body. Breathe in. Open. Breathe out. Close. Drop head. Let's speed it up. Breathe in. Open. Breathe out. Curl. Breathe in. Open. Breathe out. Curl. Breathe in. Notice your body's different feeling as we speed up. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Start leading from the abdominals. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rather than from pulling with the hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And one more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Well done. Drop your head. Come curl up and leave your hands on your knees for a second. Notice the energetic build, starting to build some shifting of energy in the upper body. I'm actually even needing to strip off my top, getting a bit warm in here. So I hope everybody, and that is just through some really very simple breath work. So we're going to follow on from that by doing our Kapalbhati. So remembering that is the pumping of the abdominals. So I'm going to tuck my shirt in so perhaps you can see. You may uncross your legs. Sorry, I'm very used to sitting in cross legs. Give them a little bit of a shake. Remembering which one was in front. Take your hands behind your back and just give yourself a little bit of a lower back reset. Open the chest, stick the tailbone out and look towards the ceiling. And come back to center. And cross your legs the other way. All right. So with the Kapalbhati, we are using our stomach like a bellow, like we want to start a fire. And we are going to push it out, pull it in, push it out, pull it in, push it out, pull it in, push it out, pull it in. And you just let the breath work its own magic as it goes. So the breath is controlled from the abdominals. It's not easy for everybody. So we're just going to practice the cat-cow is the precursor to activate that area. This is fabulous for digestive system to build the fire, to build the Agni, and to help to digest emotions, to help to digest our food. So it is a brilliant, brilliant activation. All right, we're going to breathe in, expand the stomach. Breathe out, pull it in. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Someone's punching you, breathe out. Breathe in. They're standing on your abdominal, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, All through the nose. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in and hold. Close your throat, pull up your mula bandha, close the lower orifice, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And just notice. Notice we build energy here. We're starting to come down and build the energy here in the gut area around the solar plexus and around your solar chakra. We'll go for a second round. We're going to breathe in. Wonderful for firing up the kidneys to help us. Breathe out. Pull in the stomach. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Short, sharp. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 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 Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in. Breathe in and hold. Close the throat. Close the lower orifice. Allow this energy to push and build and sweep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Just take a moment. We're going to do one more round, and this time we're going to do it with Kumbhaka. So Kumbhaka is what you're using at the end. You're sealing off the 2 orifices and you are holding that heated breath in for a little while whilst the body can take it just to equalize. This time we're going to breathe in, expand the abdominals, and then we're going to close. No breath in or out, and we're just going to pump the tummy. So we're just going to do that. And we're going to try it for 10 pumps. If you need to release your breath in the middle, then do. All right, nice open back, open shoulders, breathe in. Fill that belly, allow it to expand. Close both and pump your stomach in, out, in, out. 10 and hold and breathe out. Release. Take a lovely big breath in and a breath out. And another big breath in. Take your arms up to the ceiling. And breathe out. Stretch those fingers away. Stretch them far away from you. Touch the floor. Breathe in again. Up to the sky. Breathe out. Take your hands behind your back. Open up your chest and see if you can rock forward onto your knees by lifting your buttock off the floor. So rock forward onto your knees, lift the buttock off the floor and just open up the chest. Starting to activate the lymph into the groin area and in through your hip flexors, your psoas area. Breathe out. Come back to center and uncross those poor legs. Well done. All right. We're going to come into a little bit of bridge today. So we're going to come back, roll back down onto our mats. But I want you to roll with mindfulness. Mindfully roll. So your knees are in alignment, your feet are in alignment, your sit buttocks is all in one line, and you collapse your lower back and you reach your pubic bone up to the sky. As you roll down, one vertebra at a time, seriously controlled. Feel every vertebra as it hits the floor. Breathe in and take your hands up, listen to me, up above your head in a straight line, both arms reaching towards the ceiling. And take them behind your head, back down onto the floor above your head. Breathe out, Bring your hands back up to the ceiling in an arc and all the way down back next to your hips. Breathe in. Take them in an arc behind your head. Touch the floor with both hands, back of both hands. Breathe out. Open the fingers. Bring that arm in an arc all the way down till your hands on either side of your buttock. One more. Breathe in. Allow the belly to fill. Breathe out. Bring the hands back down next to your buttock. Prepare to do the same now with bridge. So bring your feet a little bit closer to your buttock. Wherever it feels comfortable for you, adjust your feet. As close to your buttock as you can. All right. And as you bring your arms and you breathe in, you're going to curl your coccyx off the floor, curling your back, breathing in, curling your back off the floor. Take your arms above your head, in an arc, and that we're up in bridge. Buttock is in the air. Take a breath here, so we're going to breathe out. Stay there. Breathe in again. Expand that belly. Take it up to the sky. And breathe out. Curl back down. Every vertebra, bringing your arms with you. They're above your head. They're curling. Curl the lower back into the floor. Keep the coccyx and the pubic bone up. And now release everything until you're on the base of your back of the pelvis. Breathe in again. Curl. Curl. Push down with your feet. Bring your arms above your head. Now take them right across and above onto the floor behind your head. Push down with your feet. Engage your buttock. Breathe out. Squeeze those buttocks together. Push the pelvis up to the sky. Breathe in. Allow the belly to expand. Breathe out. Curl down gently. Every single vertebra. Feel it. Feel the space that you're creating by mobilizing the vertebra. One more time. Breathe in. Curl the pubic bone to the sky. Start peeling that spine off the floor. Reach for the sky. Now you're allowing your hands to come over your head. You're balancing on your shoulders, not on your neck or your head. Your head is there, but you should be able to gently lift your head off the floor. Breathe out. Breathe in to expand the belly to the sky. Trying to get the hips higher than the knees. And breathe out. Curl all the way down. Use that breath. Feel the vertebra one at a time. All the way to the floor. Well done. Bring your knees into your chest. We come into Upasana, which is the reverse or the balancing pose for bridge. The equalizing of the energy pose. Give yourself a really lovely hug. And take your feet back down to the floor, knees pointing up, and widen your feet to the width of the mat. Put your arms into eagle arms so that they're in the T on either side of your shoulders, and then bend at the elbows and bring your hands in line with your ears. Feet are hip width apart. No, they're mat width apart, and we're going to drop both our knees down towards the left. Keeping our shoulders on the floor. Shoulders are glued. Breathe in here. Breathe into that right hand side. Feel the space between your hip and under your arms, your shoulders. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Pull that right knee down towards the floor in your mind. As you breathe out, keep the right knee towards the floor. Keep the hip where it is. Contract the belly. Push everything out. Expand. Breathe in again. Third breath on this side. Feel the space around the upper hip joint. Breathe out as you gently bring your knees back to center. Breathe in to prepare. Nice big belly breath. Breathe out. Drop both knees down to the right. Breathe in here. Take your left hip away from your left shoulder. Pull them apart from each other. Breathe out. Leave them apart from each other. Try and get the left knee down to the floor. Breathe in. Open up that space. Left hip to left underarm. Breathe out. Focus on the knee down to the floor. Last breath in. Really expanding the sideways, expanding the obliques, expanding the left-hand side of the lung. And on your out breath, bring your knees back up to center. And bring your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a really good hug. And straighten your feet to the sky. Both legs up towards the ceiling and flexing your feet. Breathe in and breathe out. Take another breath here. We're reversing the blood flow. It's not going down, up, it's going up, down. Breathe in. Breathe out. And this time on the in-breath, lift your buttock up off the floor and see if you can take your legs parallel to the floor. Your knees are above your nose. And use your hands to just gently support your lower back. So we're not going into a shoulder stand. We're just going into a gentle forward fold, but on your back. Breathe in. Feel the constriction in the front of the chest now. You have to breathe gently into the back. Use your hands to support you. If you'd like to, you can release your hands and pull them away from your body and hold your legs parallel to the ground. No one's got toes on ground yet. The legs are suspended. Breathe in. You have to breathe into the back of the lung. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. For those who'd like to, open your legs first and then see if you would like to take your toes to the ground. First, open the legs, take the toes to the ground if you'd like. If not, stay here. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, you may unwind gently. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your toes off the floor. Bring your legs back together and parallel with the floor. And slowly release the spine by lowering the buttock towards the floor. Keep the legs more or less parallel to the floor. Now they're coming up to the sky. Turn your legs into cobbler. So you're going to join the base of your feet together. Join your heels, join the bottom of your big toes and open your knees. And see if you can get hold of your shin or your thighs, just to hold anywhere that you can. Gently see if you can coax your knees apart a little further. Breathe. This is not a comfortable position. So now we're learning to breathe in a compromised position, somewhere where we are uncomfortable. Breathe. Breathe out. Bring the legs back up straight again. And gently lower them to the floor. All the way down into a straight line. Take your hands above your head. And coming into a full body stretch. Toes to fingertips. Breathe in. Allow the belly to expand. Allow the back to release off the floor. Balancing on the shoulders. Breathe out. Relax onto the floor. Bring your hands next to your hips on the floor, palms facing down, and lift up your upper body onto your elbows. We're going to come into a gentle fish. You all know where you can be. Your toes are pointed, your feet are together. I like to sit gently on top of my fingers. That seems to be my best position, and I want everybody to just push down on the elbows and open up the chest. So you're pushing down your elbows, push them down into the floor, take the shoulders back and open the chest. And gently release the head backwards. See how comfortable or uncomfortable you feel. Breathe in, open the throat area. Breathe out, lion's breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and gently bring your head back. We'll do one lion's breath here. We'll breathe in, and we'll breathe out. And bring yourself back up to seated. And swing your legs around that we come onto all fours. Meet me on the mat on all fours. Is everybody okay? All right. I'll turn around this time. All right, we're going to come into our cat-cow on the floor, on the all fours, but we're going to do it with a slight knee lift. So as we're doing our cat, we push down the outside of our feet and we lift the knees off the floor. And as we breathe in, we're actually going to bend our arms and we're going to try and take our chest to the floor. Mini little push-up. All right, so we're going to breathe out. We're going to curl our abdominals, drop the head, lift the knees off the floor. Breathe in, drop the knees, bend the elbows towards your body gently, and open the chest. Breathe out, straighten the arms. Belly to spine, curl your back and lift the knees off the floor. Breathe in, drop knees, bend elbows towards you very gently and open up your chest. Lift your chin. Breathe out. Belly to spine, push the feet down, lift the knees off the floor. Breathe in. Bend elbows, tail up, arched back. Slight supported back bend. Breathe in, breathe out. Curl up, knees off floor. Breathe in. Bend elbows, slight back bend. Lift your chest, breathe out. Curl abdominals, pubic bone to chin. Knees off the floor, breathe in. Bend elbows, open chest. Breathe out. Use your abdominals to lead you in this. Breathe in. Open, slight dip. Your arms should be feeling it. Breathe out. Push the floor away, back of your feet. Lift the knees off. Breathe in. Dip the elbows. And come back to center. See if you can stay on all fours without having a break. If we need a break, we pull back into child's pose. Come onto your elbows. Okay, onto your elbows, hands are flat, or you may cross your arms and hold them across here. We're going to go into plank, so we're going to stretch away our left leg, stretch away our right leg. Trying to keep the buttock off the floor. This is a different breath. This is a breath where you want to take your concentration into the back of your heels, stretch away the back of your legs, breathe. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, dip your left leg, knee to ground. Breathe in, straighten your left leg, breathe out, bend your right leg, knee to ground. Breathe in, straighten. Breathe out, dip your left leg, knee to ground. Breathe in, straighten, and last one, dip your right leg, knee to ground. Breathe in, straighten. Take both knees to the floor, flatten your feet. Take your hands and walk them forward so that you can allow your belly onto the floor. Make sure your elbows are below your shoulders. We're coming into Sphinx. All right, it's not Cobra where your hands are in line with your shoulders. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders. You've got a nice straight line, hands flat on the floor. We're going to breathe in and draw your elbows, pull them towards your body without lifting them off the floor, and take your chest through your arms, lifting your chin. Push down with your elbows, keep your chest nice and high. Breathe. Pubic bone into the floor to protect you. Push the pubic bone, push down with the elbows, pull the elbows into your body. My arms are shaking. Breathe, breathe. And come down to the mat. Turn your head with your right ear onto the floor. Take a little break. This time, take your hands next to your buttock, down the sides of your body, palms facing up. Bring your head up and back to center with your nose on the floor, your forehead on the floor. This time we're going to breathe in and we're going to lift both legs off the floor. Keep your upper body on the floor, hands on the floor, just your legs. You might be going into cramp. Breathe out, release the legs down to the floor. Breathe in, lift your upper body, hands and chest, keeping your neck in a nice straight line with the rest of your spine. Just your hands and chest and your head. Doesn't have to be high, just hold. Pull the fingertips down towards the ankles. Breathe. Breathe out. Take everything down. And on this last one, as you breathe in, you're going to lift everything. Shoulders, head, hands, feet. Stretching away. Breathe. Open up the body. Pretend you're going to fly off. Breathe out as you reach down. And put your left ear to the floor and take a break. Can you notice how uncomfortable you feel in that space versus an exercise that you find a lot easier? Come back to center. For those you'd like to try, we're going to try a little bit of bow. So we're going to bend our knees towards your buttock. See if you can get hold of a baby toe, a big toe, a foot, anything. If not, just bend your knees. Take your hands and put them on your buttock. And we're going to rise up by trying to get our knees off the floor gently and taking our chest off the floor. For those who have the leverage of your feet, you can stretch your way into your bow and you can lift right up onto your hips. For those who can't reach the feet, hands on buttock, lifting up the upper torso and trying to get the knees just off the floor. Breathe and release down to the floor. Your hands in front of your head and turn your head gently just to take a breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in again and breathe out. Push back up. And come into child's pose, wide angle child's pose. Take your knees apart and just relax, bringing your breath back to normal. You may put your hands underneath your head. Sink your bust to the floor. Keep your big toes together and open up the knees. And breathe into your back. Feel the breath into the back of your pelvis,
the top of the back of your hips. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time, breathe in. Feel the space you're creating in your back. And surrender as you breathe out. And push yourself back up onto all fours. The last stretch I'd like to do in this position is to take your hands and invert them. So try to get your fingers to face backwards. So we're opening up the front of our arms by twisting from the shoulder. All right, so it's not just the wrist, it's the entire arm. Mobility and a rotation in the arm. If you can't get them facing exactly backwards, don't worry, just open them up gently. So they're directly below your shoulders. And slowly but surely, sit slightly back towards your heels, keeping the palms of your hands facing the floor. It's not an easy stretch, and as you practice it more and more, you will become more and more flexible within your wrist joints. A lovely blood flow to the wrist, through to the fingertips. Breathe. Keeping the rest of your chest nice and long. Breathe. And come up to seated. Bring yourself into seated position. And just have your palms facing upwards on your knees. Feel those energy shifts that you've just done. A lot of the work that opens up the chest is very energy shifting. We're going to release our left leg, our right leg. From our cross, we're going to leave the left leg on the floor, just to where you feel comfortable. We're going to take our right hand, take it along the leg, bringing yourself into a slight sideways twist, and take the left hand up to the sky. So you can bend your elbow, your hand is on your leg, and your arm is up to the sky. Breathe. You can flex your lower foot if you'd like more activation in that leg. Breathe in, reach to the sky. Breathe out if you can bring your arm closer to your ear, but keeping it straight. Try not to bend it, keeping it straight, just to where your capacity is. Breathe in now to the side. You've got the lower arm as support. Breathe out. If you feel like extra core work, you can release the lower arm and you can hold on to your own core from the base here. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in again, opening up the chest to the sky. Try not to let yourself collapse forward. Keep an open chest, even if you're rather here. Just be here. Take the shoulder back. Breathe again. And slowly but surely come back to center. Release the left leg. Both sit bones nicely on the floor. Breathe in. Slide your left hand along your leg to give yourself a sideways bend. Holding on nicely with the left torso. Breathe. Opening up the shoulder. You can look towards the ceiling, you can look towards the floor, you can look towards the camera. It doesn't matter. Whichever feels comfortable for your neck. I find it easier to look to the ceiling. It opens up my chest a bit and it strengthens my neck. Breathe in and bring your arm a little bit closer to your ear. It's the upper arm. You want to close the gap between your biceps and your ear.
Opens up the lymphatic system at the back, right under your arm. Feel that lovely stretch down to the right hip. Breathe in, breathe out. And bring yourself back up to center. Bring both legs through into cobbler, touching your feet together. Nearly there, and just roll the shoulders with your hands on your knees. Breathing. Stay nice and tall on the spine, the other way with the shoulders. And breathe in. And twist gently towards the right. Take your hand on the outside of your knee. Breathe in again, arms up to ceiling. And twist gently to your left. Take your hand to the outside of your knee. One more on either side. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Interlace your hands. Invert your hands and stretch away. Breathe out whilst you're here and push the ceiling away with those hands. Push the ceiling away. Grow the torso. Breathe in. And gently bring your hands down to the floor in front of you. I like to actually put my fists on top of my feet. 2 fists, one on top of the other. And rest your forehead gently on the fists. We're going to use this as our Shavasana pose. So we're going to stay here for a minute or two. Find yourself comfortable. Put a cushion here if you need to. You can put a block here if you need to. Anything that you can just rest your head on gently. You can even put a pillow here in your abdominal area that you can rest on. Breathe into the back gently. Breathe out through the nose. Nice long breaths. Breathe in again through the back. Draw the air this time from the ground, through the sit bones, up the spine, to the crown of your head. And release the breath through the mouth this time, into the earth below you. Breathe in again, one more from the ground. We need the earthy groundingness as much as we need the light skyness. Breathe out through the mouth. Just come back to your normal breathing and take this little moment to reflect back on your ether, your area of space, both within your body and within the greater universe. See how we feel about some of the questions. The ether is often about the greater purpose, the vibrational energy we exude into the pool of vibrations. Is it helpful? Is it harmful? Can we draw from that pool of vibrations as well when we need to? Just letting your breath be. Surrender in this pose. Surrender the hips, surrender the buttock.
Start becoming aware of some of the sounds surrounding you. The sounds outside your building now. We've been very focused internally.
Become aware of what is around you. Slowly start flexing the spines. Keep your head down, just flex your spine. Make sure it's still there. Move the hips slightly, 1 centimeter backwards or forwards. And on the next out breath, engage your core as you gently roll yourself back up. And bring yourself into a cross-legged position. Spine nice and tall. Take a big breath in, arms above your head. Reach those fingertips. Reach the fingertips to the sky. Reach again. Breathe out whilst you're here. Stay nice and strong. Breathe in again. Capacity, and bring your hands down through the center line. Onto your chest. Thumbs touching sternum. Joining left and right. Balancing that male and female, parasympathetic, sympathetic. Just being aware of that balance and how to use our space internally and externally to help us stay in balance. Let's rub your palms together, creating nice heat. Really create the heat. In a cold weekend here. And just take your palms, put them on your eyes, breathe in. Use the energy that the earth has. I like to go around my head. I love nothing better than an Indian head massage. Just give yourself a nice tug on your hair, tug on your shoulders. Give yourself a big hug and say thank you, body, for being here. And bring your hands down, your arms in a nice self-massage. You can interlace your fingers and pull them apart. Big breath in and hands back into prayer. And I wish you all a day filled with joy, with happy space, and lots of laughter. Thank you. Namaste, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you have a really lovely day.